Just take a look at this video of actress Brooke Shields breaking down in tears last year after her daughter returned to college for her sophomore year.
Oh, it's so hard. I miss her already. Our babies.
I know the feeling. Joining me now, Niro Feliciano. She is a psychotherapist and an author. Niro, you know, we all think maybe we're going to be fine, and then the emotions hit when your child leaves home. How do you get ready in advance for those feelings?
I think, Kate, it's like many things when it comes to parenting. You don't know how you're going to feel until you're in that moment. But I would say normalize all the feelings. Yes, it's hard. Yes, you might feel loss, grief, sadness, anxiety, fear. You're also going to be excited. And as they make the transition successfully, so will you with some time.
And Niro, I have to say, I remember my first time going away to college. It's hard to know what to expect. And, you know, I'm the oldest. I'm not much of a crier, at least in my family context. That was me the day I was dropped off. And yet I cried, which was a little embarrassing. But what's your advice to young people if they're worried or they think they might get homesick?
Yeah, I think it's important that we tell young people, look, it is normal to miss home. It's normal to feel homesick. Transitions take longer than you think, 3 to 6 months on average. And when we're listening to them, we don't want to talk them out of it. We want to empathize with what they're feeling and validate it. And also empower them to say, you know, you can do hard things. Also, nothing is set in stone. We're going to try this. We're going to give it the semester, the year, and then reevaluate if it's the right place for you. But stay with them in the emotion and give them a lot of empathy.
Yeah, a lot of students, college students in that first year struggle with their mental health, Niro. There's academic stress, there's social pressure, there's trying to make new friends, all of it. How can we help prepare them for what's ahead without being overbearing?
Yeah, we want to just make sure we keep those lines of communication open, sending texts, encouraging them, also letting them know what anxiety and depression look like. And if they're noticing these things, to reach out to you, let them know where the health center is, where they can get support. And something that we've always told our kids, even from a young age, is there's no situation too big that we are not going to walk you through it. And when you're fearful or sad, you might not be able to think of solutions that we can think of. So come to us. Nothing is off the table, and we want to really normalize that for them.
I love that. And for a lot of young people, this might be their first time really being on their own, independent. Even if they think they are independent, they might be budgeting for the first time, feeding themselves for the first time. So how can caregivers make this transition a bit easier?
You know, we just want to be there for them and let them know, reach out when you need help. Ask them open-ended questions. Hey, what do you love there? What's going well? What's been unexpected? And what's challenging today or this week? We also want to be able to connect with them on their schedule.
Yeah.
So ask them, when is a good time to touch base? When do you want me to visit? And give them a little bit of space to figure it out. Care packages, always a good thing as well.
One last quick question. I know parents who check in every single day with their college kid. Personally, I don't want to look too clingy, so I don't do that. How do you find that balance?
Kate, in 1 year, I'm going to be asking you that same question. But what I would say is don't expect them to be, responsive every time you call. Give them some grace. Remember what it's like when you have a crazy day at work. This is what they're trying to figure out in their own environment. And don't overwhelm them with advice. Be a sounding board. Give them encouragement and tell them you're here when they need you. Give them a long leash to come back to you when they need you.
I love that, Niro Feliciano. Thank you so much. So helpful.
There's much more news ahead.
You're watching NBC News Daily.